guys, welcome to our channel. Thank you for watching. It's another state of emergency here in Florida. As you can see by the infotainment center, it's 63 degrees. That is our high. So yeah, that's terrible for Floridians. The car likes it okay. Tires don't like it so much, but she likes it pretty good. So anyways, we are 6 miles from hitting the 10,000 mile mark, and I thought I'd give you guys a nice little 10,000 mile review. So let's, as they say in the business world, let's put the bottom line on top, and that is, car is awesome. I love it. I've yet to have any buyer's remorse in getting it. One thing that we did, we modified it pretty quick out the door, and I probably, if I had to do it all over again, I'm not saying that I wouldn't modify it, but I would have done the wrap first. I would have had it wrapped and ceramic coated first, and then done the engine modifications, because the car is pretty awesome the way it is, and I really didn't need. I mean, it came. One of our earlier videos, basically, it comes from the factory, putting 550 horsepower and 550 torque to the wheels from the factory. Now, of course, working with Jeremy, we got that up to, our max was 680 horsepower and 730 torque, and that's running with a combination of ethanol and methanol, E85 and methanol. So when everything's going right, it'll put down 730 torque. But, I mean, it's one of the things where we are doing more track days. I've yet to do a quarter-mile day. And really, I've been apprehensive about going on a quarter-mile track because I don't want to take my baby and put it in the wall. So what's the difference? Well, the difference is on the Sebring track days and other types of track days, I can actually get track insurance. So it's a little pricey, but when you think about putting a $60,000 car into a cement wall and coming away with nothing but car payments left, it's not that pricey. So it's what they say, it's insurance. But so overall impressions, like I said, love the car, don't have a single bit of buyer's remorse. If I did it all over again, I would wrap it, ceramic coat it first. You do
a chin race too before you do modifications, you said.
Yeah, I definitely would have done the race first, and here's why. Putting all that power down, one or two, there's a couple things. Putting all that power down, I can't really get onto it. As you guys watch our track videos, and you see how I slowly get into the gas, you can tell that by the green line going all the way up. I can't put all that power down coming right out of a corner without the traction control kicking on right away. So it's got too much power, either for the tires. Now, of course, the Chin Race instructors are saying...
For the owner.
Or for the owner. The Chin Race instructors are saying, hey, you stick with those stock tires. The great thing about them is they squeal. If you go to more track tires, you won't get the squeal, and they'll just cut loose. At least when you hear the squealing, you know you're pushing right at the boundaries. The second thing, let's talk a little bit about methanol. So once your engine has been tuned for methanol, you can't just hit it real hard and then not. If your reservoir runs out of methanol, you gotta either pit or stay out of it, because if you get into the zone where the methanol should be firing, it's just fun. Sorry guys. If you get in that zone where the methanol should be firing and you don't have any in there, you can literally melt your engine. Now, we'll show you guys a dyno video. She's been on the dyno 3 times. The first time we wanted to see what a baseline was. Second time, Jeremy did a bunch of modifications to it, and we wanted to see what he put down. You guys got those numbers. The third time she went to a dyno, it's because I had a 2 nozzle setup on the methanol, and it would spray about 0.7 ounces per second. Well, on the first session, it was fine. On the second session, we ran out right at the... hold on one second, guys. Brakes worked well. On the second session, she ran out right... on the third and fourth session, I actually had to pit early because I was getting into it a lot more. So my choices were either A, go to a bigger methanol container that we would have to run from the trunk, or B, go down to a single nozzle. So now, of course, she's spraying 0.35 ounces per second when she's in it. to see if that works. Now, my last track day, you know, the supercharger belt broke, and so I didn't get a good day's worth of sessions to see if it was. Let's see if I want to go back to 2 nozzles or if 1 nozzle is enough.
Cool part is Chin Racing gave you a rebate for that.
Yeah, that was kind of nice. The Chin Race instructor sent me an email saying, you know, how sorry they were that my car had a mechanical so early on in the day, and they it wasn't a full rebate, but they gave me $100 off of the next event, which will be in January. So, I mean, hey, they didn't have to do anything, so that's pretty awesome. All right, so after all of that, that's why I would have done a Chin Race first, wrap it, ceramic coat it, Chin Race first, kind of see what I need. I don't know going forward if I would do methanol again, only because you have to constantly keep that reservoir full, and I have I don't have windshield washer fluid in there anymore. I've got methanol in there. It's by Alky Control, and they're a Florida-based company, and Jeremy really likes the way they work. It's really easy. So we'll see. We'll see if in the near future if we go back up to 2 nozzles or not.
You just went to 9,997 miles.
We're almost there, and I'm stuck behind a bus.
I was just going to say you're behind a bus. Although you can talk about the windshield wiper fluid and what you recently did.
So
it's a bus.
I know it's a bus. Well, let's just go in 5th gear. So because I don't have any windshield washer fluid, I actually watched a video from a young man named Riley on RP Productions. He's got a pretty cool channel. You guys might want to check it out. He's had everything from scat packs and he had a Camaro SS 1LE. He had I don't know if he had a...
You can't be behind a bus for the 10,000 mile mark.
No.
There's something illegal about that.
I'll go behind a dump truck instead.
I'm not sure which is better.
Alright, so Riley Productions, or RP Productions, Riley, recommended a substance called glass parency. And glass parency is to, say, Rain-X, what ceramic coating is to waxing your car. It's just the next generation stuff. So it rained the other day in Florida. I mean, you could just see the water beating up. I'll have to get you guys a video next time, but it's pretty cool stuff.
You're going to drive Stormy in the rain?
Not intentionally, but anyways.
Yes, you will for the video.
Yeah.
We could use a hose. You could sit in the driveway.
Sit in the driveway with a hose on it. Well, so things I would have done different. Like I said, we'll wrapped it, ceramic coated, gone a race first. Now, would I have gotten an automatic or a manual? Well, I love a manual, but somebody can't drive a stick.
You shut up. I know how to fly a plane.
Yeah, someone can't drive a stick, and she doesn't want to learn on this car. So
I'm not permitted to learn on this car. Who are you kidding?
Devil's in the details.
I can't even sit in the driver's seat without you cringing.
Devil's in the details. Anyways, 9998. Almost there, guys.
Make sure the GoPro picks it up okay. Can you see it okay? You can, right?
Yep. So the question becomes the A10 automatic versus the manual. I like the manual. Tampa traffic sometimes really would prefer an A10 automatic, but Sharon would prefer the A10 automatic so she could actually drive it once in a while.
Kevin would prefer to put this out there just so he thinks about buying a 2019.
You know, I'd hate to be like Guitar Armageddon and have 2 ZL1s.
Would you get another Nightfall Gray?
No, I don't know what color I would get, but I might.
Arctic Blue.
No, not Arctic Blue. That's like Jeff Dunham's.
It's the same color
Grays.
that Brutus used to be.
Yeah, they haven't seen Brutus, so who cares? But anyways, so automatic versus manual, still really like it, but the automatic really does have a place in the Tampa Bay area. But the manual is so much more fun to drive. I guess it's just dealer's choice, whatever works for you guys. No mechanical issues, none. Well, with the exception of the supercharger belt cutting loose. Now, I don't know if that was a belt issue or if that's a result from, you know, the belt getting taken off and put on and taking off and put on because of all the all the modifications. But other than that, no mechanical issues at all. There is one thing to note about the service at the local Chevy places. You really got to let them know ahead of time that you need things. For example, the last Ching race I did, well, the one where I did the entire Ching race, they chewed up the tires pretty good, so I asked for tires. It took them 4 days to get the tires in stock. I mean, it's just, they don't carry the parts for the ZL1, which I was a little surprised about. Now, the Corvettes, of course, use the Michelins, and the Camaros are using the Goodyears, but I would have thought that they would have had them in stock. But even in the, you know, populous place of Florida, it still took, like I said, 3 or 4 days for those tires to come on in. I mean, I dropped my car off on a Monday and ended up getting it Thursday. So that's one thing. When we had the supercharger belt break and it took out the coolant hoses and the vacuum lines, again, it took about 4 days for the whole thing to get said and done. So it's just, if you're going to get this car, you know, try to, as best you can, to plan your maintenance ahead of time, or give the dealership a better heads up that you're going to need tires and stuff like that. Because when I did, if the stuff's not in stock, you're going to be waiting for a little while. The only other takeaways that are, you know, one of those things that, 3 things really. The trunk opening. Yeah, after driving this for 10,000 miles, it's not even my daily driver, but for 10,000 miles, that trunk opening, it's basically duffel bags because nothing else is going to fit. It's got a big trunk, but the opening to it. Oh, there it is! Woohoo! 10,000 miles!
Sorry, I'm probably making people want to puke or trying to watch it.
10,000 miles, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, so the trunk opening is one thing, and honestly, the way the lights are and stuff, I don't know how they would be able to fix that, if they could fix it. You know, it's one of those things. If you're going to have a 650 horsepower muscle car that can also take corners, you got to give and take a little bit. The second thing are the Brembo brakes. They work fantastic. They stop awesome. But one is they're dirty. There's brake dust all over everything. And 2 is now we're on 10,000 miles. We're starting to squeak a little bit. I brought it into the dealership, and they're like, no, this is actually a known problem. So I don't know what that solution means. It meant that they weren't doing anything that day on it. But so yeah, trunk opening. The brakes are dirty and can get a little noisy. And the third thing is, this bothered me so much, I took out the stock exhaust, went with Flowmasters, had the tips powder coated, and it's because of all the carbon that builds up on the tailpipes. I mean, it's every time you take it out, you're sitting there with a. I mean, I had aluminum scrubber. I had the whole 9 yards trying to keep those tailpipes clean, and it's just something about that direct injection. It blows out a lot of carbon. It's all over everything. But other than that, guys, you know, those are pretty darn small things for all the car you're getting. I mean, we love this car. I mean, there's just so much just from a luxury standpoint. From, you know, I mean, I know the other places have the infotainment center or the other cars and stuff like that, but I mean, it's just fantastic. It's so much fun to drive. It's 2 years later, 2 years and 10,000 miles later.
10,001.
10,001 miles later, and we still love just taking it out on stupid little road trips. Oh, and that brings it up. One last thing, and this is, of course, anybody that's using a key fob and has the you know, push to start. Maybe it was because it wasn't my it's not my daily driver, but when that battery goes, it went. I mean, the manual says if you put the key in the very rear cup holder there, that should be right next to the receiver, and that's my rev match. Love rev match. Put the key fob right next to the last cup holders, right next to the receiver, and it should be able to start up. It didn't happen for us. I had to go and get the spare key and then go get the battery. So for all you guys out there, I don't know, I've got a battery in the glove box just in case something happens again. I don't know how with the heat and the cold it's going to last, but maybe I'm just going to have to sit there and put myself a calendar reminder to change the battery every 6 months or something. But just know that when the key fob went out on us, car was done. It was not starting. And Jenny's flowers just tried to...
Yeah, seriously.
I don't know what's up with Jenny or her flowers. That's just no way to drive around our car.
I mean, who gets flowers anyway? Somebody at a funeral? So what's the rush?
So anyhow. But guys, thanks so much for watching our video. Hope you picked something up from it. Again, love the car. No buyer's remorse whatsoever. No mechanical issues. I can't blame a supercharger belt on anyway. I don't know what happened there, but we'll find out at the next chin race if it's if it's something with the tensioner or if it's something with the belts. And so hopefully that goes pretty good. Until then, likes, comments, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Take care, everybody.
Wait, we have an on-ramp though that you get to. Well, it's traffic. You might not get to have that much fun.
I can't do it. Well, you can kill it. All right, guys. One thing I forgot to mention to you: when we got the Flowmaster exhaust with the powder-coated tips,
He's landing.
to keep from getting all. Actually, it doesn't keep the carbon from building up. Obviously, it just makes it harder to see. And the exhaust tips look really nice. But one of the things, we went with Flowmaster because it's supposed to be able to use the NPP exhaust and still be able to give you the different driving modes tied to the exhaust. Yeah, it's not going to work. So whether you like Flowmaster, Borla, or Corsa, don't think that the NPP, Corsa does not work with the NPP system, but I mean, we can't hear the difference really. From stealth to track mode, which is the loudest mode on this, you can barely hear the difference as far as the the stealth mode. So that's pretty much been negated, and I thought you guys should know. The only bad thing I have found with the Flowmasters right now is about the worst harmonic at 1500 RPMs in 6th gear. If I have to get going someplace, it's the harmonic inside the passenger cabin here. You definitely want to downshift and give up at a higher RPM. And
You proud of me? You said NPP and I didn't sing OPP.
very proud of you, Sharon.
3 times you said it.
You know me. But hey, the kids watching this don't even know what that's referencing to.
Some of us are allowed to be old.